guys, and welcome back. Today I'm talking about posture in sitting and how we can do some mobility techniques to keep our lumbar spine, our low back, healthy and in a neutral position. So for those of you who do a lot of sitting, which is going to be a lot of people, you know, on your commute to work or especially sitting at the desk. So for example, if I'm working at the fruit bowl here, if I'm not putting my feet flat on the floor and I'm having my toes sort of on the ground, what this is doing to my back, you can see I'll be arching my back. Okay, in this position, all the muscles along the length of my spine are firing, they're active right now. So what I'm doing is I'm using my capacity, so that's sort of strike one. And two, you can see I'm tightening up all these tissues. You can even see the wrinkles in my shorts and shirt here. These tissues in the front side of my hip are going to be getting tight. So you say, Eric, well, why does that even matter? So when you go to stand up out of this position, these tissues are still going to be tight. And so when you stand up, it's going to be pulling you into a little bit of extension, and it won't allow you to open up that hip all the way. If you can't open your hip all the way, you can't achieve a neutral spine position in standing. So an easy stretch for this is called a Samson stretch. And what this is going to do is loosen up the tissues on the front side of your hip. Okay, so what we're going to do, have your trailing leg, foot will be flat down, knees on the ground, and you want your leading leg to be at about 90 degrees. You don't want to have your leg jammed up here. This is going to put a lot of stress through the knee. So we're at 90 degrees, start tipping forward a bit, belly's tight, so we never want to violate the two-hand rule. So from my xiphoid process, just between my ribs to my pubic bone, my hands don't want to be going farther apart or closer together. So we want to avoid extension or flexion. We're going to stay neutral and tight. Okay? My hips are going to be squared up. Don't let your trailing leg, don't let your hips rotate away. So hips are squared to the front. What I'm going to do, belly's tight. I'm just going to lean into this until I feel a nice big pull right at the top of the hip. So sort of with my hips facing forward, my belly's tight. I'm going to hunt around, try to find some of those little corners, those little tight spots. When you find those tight spots, you're going to camp out there. So minimum stretch time, it's going to be 2 minutes. Alright, we need at least 2 minutes to create change in the tissues. Our body's tissues have a property called viscoelasticity. Basically what that means is they need time under load to deform and change. Anything less than 2 minutes, you're really not going to be doing much. Okay, so what this is going to do now, when I'm in an upright position, it's going to be nice and loose in the front of that hip so it can sit in a nice neutral posture. So that's how we can keep your low back and hips healthy.